you? Good evening, good morning, where you're watching this video. I haven't been this week live, but I also feel like it's been such a long week. It's so many things happened, and I wanted to not only relax a little bit right now before I go into the weekend, before I start to work a lot again. Just wanted to bring a couple of videos in just because I feel like I need to relax a little bit, and I miss you guys. I want to chat. Hopefully you will be here so we can chat, and thanks for the like. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I wanted to make a little an analysis, a socio-psychological analysis of the Dan Markel and the Adelson family members, and I have been following this trial for a really long time. I didn't want to do a trial analysis anymore because I feel like I'm this negative energy. I really don't like that, but there are certain things that if you follow the trial that really stood out to me, and I wanted to make videos about that. Actually, not videos, maybe videos in the future if I really pick something up, but the trial is pretty much over. The state today rests the case, and I want to point out certain individuals, and if you go back and watch it, you would like to look into with my analysis so that you can see how can you depict people in your own life as well who are similar to those. So a little bit an overview if you know the trial, and I'm not going to go into what the trial is all about. This is for people who already know it. So Dan Markel was the law professor, a Harvard undergrad, and then Harvard, I don't know, law school graduate, professor of the Florida State University. And the Adelson family is ultra rich family, highly educated, super accomplished family, and both are Jews. And apparently Dan Markel is more addicted to, or actually are more deep into the Jews' belief system and also the application in day-to-day life, whereas the Adelson family, which Dan Markel made the wife Wendy Adelson, made them also, the mother of Wendy Adelson made her, set them up to get married because of course he looks great on paper, obviously. And then everything turned sour because the mother, Donna Adelson, and this trial today and for the last 5 days was all about Donna Adelson, because there are already 4 people convicted in jail for life in prison, and those are the 2 shooters, because it's becoming has become a, I don't know what to call it. They hired a killer basically. So three people based on this are in jail already for life in prison. They made also a deal with the state so that they can convict particularly the Adelson family members who hired these hitmen. So the brother of Wendy Adelson is Charlie Adelson, and he was convicted for life in prison because the mother right now, which she's also caught as she was fleeing the country, fleeing the United States from Miami, one-way ticket to Vietnam, who has no extradition to the United States. So they booked a one-way ticket with her husband, Harvey Adelson, but then they literally got caught in the airport as they were boarding to the airplane. So she's since last year in jail, and this was her trial, and today the state rests the case. But the point here is the co-conspirators are Charlie Adelson, the son, with the mother, Donna Adelson, for Wendy, because it's all about her vicious separation, vicious divorce. And guess what? The point is only because the mother wants Wendy Adelson, or Wendy also, doesn't want to live in Tallahassee. The mother also want them to live in Miami with the two grandsons also living with them, all together, what she wants, where she wants. So they want persistently they to divorce. But then, because he is a law professor, right? Dan Markel was a law professor, a very bright, genius law professor, and Wendy Adelson also a law professor. So they are very good with law. But when they're doing this separation, the divorce battle, literally Dan Markel was beating her in the court. And I don't want to get into that. You can just all watch it, but I want to focus rather on the individuals and their psychological analysis and their socio-psychological analysis. So the mother is obviously, she wants everything, right? And she, if you could tell, was in charge of everyone's career. So who are her children? Her children, and oftentimes when mothers are very narcissistic, I'm not saying that she's narcissistic, I'm just saying in general, narcissistic mothers who have, even if she's not narcissistic, controlling, let's say controlling, okay? Controlling mothers always have wants their children to be top tier school, top tier careers, top tier marriages with top tier people, right? Because she literally selected in the dating app, she literally made a profile for her daughter in a Jews dating app to pick that high level Harvard graduate, Harvard undergrad, and Harvard grad, Dan Markel. I mean, get that, right? Because Wendy Adelson, she became really achieved, high-level achieved law professor. Her older brother, Charlie Adelson, who is in prison for life right now, who actually hired the hitmans, he is a dentist. Harvey Adelson, the father, Donna Adelson's husband, is also an accomplished dentist. And the oldest brothers, Rob Adelson, who has no longer anything to do with their family because she wanted to interfere of the person that he loved and wanted to get married to, but that's because he didn't play along with them, so he was already totally off of the family on its own, married the person he loved, and has nothing to do with. In fact, interesting enough, for the first time he was testifying against his mother. I mean, this is such a tragedy on all levels, and I'm thinking about it. I mean, the daughter testified with a subpoena of the state against her brother. Like, get that. I mean, look at forget about how, I mean, we'll get to that, like how this absolutely mental Adelson family, by the leadership of Donna Adelson, the controlling mother, has everything under her control, led that to hire a hitman to brutally kill Dan Markel, shooting in the jaw, shooting in the forehead. It's just, not only that is insane, but also if you think about it, that all the children is testifying against each other, right? The daughter testified against the brother who hired a hitman for her ex-husband. because of her marriage, because of her everything, right? And now she's again subpoenaed. Now she is testifying against her mother while sitting across from the father who sits in the audience. I mean, guys, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, how more disturbed can a family be, and how more messed up everything can get by a controlling mother who starts everything off. Let's talk about Charlie Adelson. Charlie, if you, I mean, you have to watch today's day 5's testimony. I mean, God, this was just insanity. The way they let us hear voice messages between Charlie Adelson, who is now life in prison, hiring the hitman through Katie Beck-Benoit, who is the wife of the person who shot and killed Dan Markel, who they have 2 little kids. The father is in life in prison, the mother is in life in prison, and the 2 children. What about the 2 little children? Wendy Adelson, Dan Markel and Wendy Adelson have 2 little boys. The father is dead. The mother, every minute, we will talk about this, but I believe this Donna Adelson case was a total setup for Wendy Adelson. It will be a matter of minutes, I mean, really days, when that Wendy Adelson will be arrested, because there was a huge emphasis, if you notice, on Wendy Adelson. Everyone who does the trial analysis already noticed that. There was a huge focus, although Wendy Adelson was subpoenaed by the state. She constantly gave against her family testimony and testified against her family. It was a horrible to watch from the societal level, right? From psychological level, it's so horrifying. But still, the setup was really by the states was more geared towards Wendy Adelson, and so soon she will be arrested too, because everything is circling around Wendy Adelson. So when they let us hear non-stop the whole day of phone calls between Charlie Adelson, Katie Beck-Benoit, who is the mid person who hired her husband to kill Dan Markel, and they are non-stop talking, and Charlie Adelson, and also between Donna Adelson. But Donna Adelson, she knew since day 1 how to protect herself. So she was always saying, I cannot talk right now, and a very quiet voice, so you can barely hear what she says. Charlie Adelson, non-stop talking, we'll get to that. Non-stop talking, and more talking, and talking again, and then closing the conversation. We will talk, I will want to make another video about, I see so many videos when people on YouTube, they are closing, like people just don't know how to talk. They make a closing sentence as you think that they are finishing, they are starting all over the conversation again. You see this a lot on YouTube, but many YouTubers do that as well. So that's Charlie Adelson. You feel like, okay, bye mom, bye Katie, and then hope the conversation starts all over again, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it was so suffocating, and everyone was suffocated. And that was not just the whole day. Today, it was continuation from yesterday. Get that? Like 1.5 days long of Charlie talking. I mean, this was just insane. Charlie Adelson was talking with Katie McBenois and the mother. So Katie McBenois and Charlie Adelson, we will make an analysis of this too in a second, but the mother, Donna Adelson, was so quiet all the time, so you can barely hear what she's saying, and she was always talking with like, sure, no, I can't talk right now, so let's meet there, let's meet, not today, like in a very short sentences, very quiet, just a few words, not long sentences, but Charlie will go on and on and on and on, expressing everything. So, and let's talk about Charlie and Katie McBenois. So Katie McBenois is literally, she nonstop lied, right? She had the trial for herself, and in the first trial for herself, when she got arrested, she completely lied at her own trial. And because she lied on her own trial, then there was a hang jury. Then she made also a deal with so she lied and she got convicted, and then she had another trial, and that was a hung jury, and then she made a deal finally with the state to testify against Charlie, because she was non-stop lying in 2 trials. Then she made a deal with the state to testify against Charlie Adelson, which guess what? I mean, she was a girlfriend with Charlie Adelson while she had her husband to hire her husband. It's not even ex-husband, her husband, the father of her 2 children, while dating Charlie Adelson. And we will talk about the mess up of Katie McBenois and their relationship and all that mess, and why she was just testifying now against her boyfriend, Charlie Adelson. And then on the trial of Charlie Adelson was arrested, she testified against him. And this time she said, oh, this time I will say the truth, okay? Kristen, hi! What a really hard time I'm trying to deal with what will become of Dan Markel. Okay, let me just read this. Hold on. Good to see you, Kristen. Dan Markel and sons, and also his grieving parents. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll talk about the Dan Markel's sons. I mean, we will talk about Wendy on this video, because it's a lot to talk about Wendy, because I want to focus also on Wendy as well. So Katie then decides to say the truth, which again she didn't in the Donna Adelson's trial. She lied again. I mean, guys, this is crazy. So everyone believed she finally says the truth in the Charlie Adelson's trial. And then, he got convicted. Yeah, okay, fine. But the way, if you would watched in the Charlie Adelson's trial, she was like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like very, you would think she is like super high intelligent person, very I don't know, almost a nice kind person, I don't know, but you can smell like something of yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yeah, you can really believe her, right? Really believe her. And I had that impression, like, okay, this is just like, she's like very manipulative. You can like yes ma'am, no ma'am, like very nice sentences, very carefully curated sentences and behavior and demeanor, like very trustworthy, believable. But guess what? In this Donna Adelson trial, when we listen to the conversation between Charlie Adelson and Kate McBenois, in the Charlie Adelson trial, because of her demeanor, it was almost as if I had the impression that Charlie is the leader, like really like puts her under his fingers, right? It was so clear that if I would say who is the leader, Charlie or Katie, let me tell you, it was absolutely clear in the Dan Adelson trial with the phone calls, transcripts, and the phone calls themselves, because we heard all of their conversations, demeanors, and the effing this, effing that, and that's all over the conversation, what she was talking, like what they were talking, the fight between the two. 100%. It's clear that Katie had Charlie rounded under her finger. It was so clear. It was so clear that Charlie, why do I say that? Because after the bump, then they panic, right? Donna Adelson calls Charlie, and then she says, yeah, here, this has happened. And he immediately calls Katie and say, here, this is the phone number, call them, call the number, call me. She's like, no, because when Charlie talks about it, if you can see how Katie plays along, and I will tell you exactly why. She plays along, if you could see in the beginning of the conversation, and Charlie says, yeah, this happened. Oh, really? This happened? And he's like, yeah, this happened to my mom. He came to her, gave her this and gave that, and this is the phone. Oh, really? Huh, that's bizarre. That's crazy. Like, she plays along, right? And he gets more jazzed up. So then you feel like, okay, Charlie has all the keys in his hand. But then what happens is things turn around, right? So then they are starting to get panicking, right? Like the phone number, they called the office. So that FBI person undercover calls the office, right? Wants to get more information, blah, blah, blah. And then he panics and calls again Katie and says, you gotta call, you guys call the number, or I go to the FBI, you know? And then you still think, right, like he has all the power over them, over Katie McBanoa, her husband, the shooter, the killer, and Garcia. But then the true color of Katie McBanoa comes out, and then she goes off, effing this, effing that, and she's overpowering him really, really aggressively with all sorts of effing conversations and effing this and effing that and no and this and you do that and you this, and Charlie has absolutely no chance to speak at all. She as like in narcissistic people, right? They always play long, play nice, play kind, play sweet, and if you press their buttons, if you somehow threaten or like they get threatened, if the narcissists feel threatened, I keep saying this in my videos, the monster comes out, that nice kind person, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, person turns into a monster. Charlie Aydens had no chance to speak as she was overpowering on the phone and very brutally with all the effing words. So Charlie was like submissive against Katie. That immediately everything changed to me. Katie had all the keys in her, and she was literally, then I realized why she chose Charlie to begin with. And that is because she wanted to milk the money off of Charlie or Adelson's. Because why? If you listen to the phone calls, you would understand that even though he's a dentist, and not only that, he's not that super bright. I mean, there's some damage, I guess, in his brain, or something is off, right? Because he's non-stop talking, non-stop. And I think because it's that, because he's the middle child, right? The middle child, there's always this funny videos about middle childs, right? They're always I don't know, the middle child of the family is always I don't know, people run all over the middle child, right? So he is the middle child. I guess he was pretty much suppressed in his childhood or something by this suppressive mother, by this controlling mother. So it seems like from all of them, Rob, Charlie, and Wendy, Charlie is only the one who is like this with Donna Adelson, with the mother. Because imagine his childhood, constantly suppressive, and constantly trying to not only please the mother, but also to show the mother, like, right? Like, I'm here, mother, I'm here, correct? Because if the child is suppressed, especially if a middle child, and this is a clear mid-child case because there are only three people, right? Three children, and he's the middle. So that's number one. And number two, clearly he is, and his child was suppressed. So we don't know his childhood, but it's so obvious as an adult, he is constantly on the phone with his mother for hours. Right? I like to call my mom. We like to call my mom and my dad, but this is a little bit different because it's like this clinging on so tight, like mother, see me, hear me, I'm here, I'm with you, right, kind of thing. And that is clearly coming from suppression or not being seen as a child, right? So he has this clinging to the mother, and the mother is using that to play everything through Charlie because she has the power with that. He does everything for her, and they're always that's why they are a team, because of this dynamic of I'm pleasing you, mom, here, see me, I am the best child for you, right? Or I'm best child. And then she's like, yeah, okay, I got this. Because if somebody is so submissive to you, that narcissist or that controlling person uses that, and Donna did that, used Charlie for her benefit, because Donna wanted Dan Markel to be out of the occasion, and there's only one way to do it, through Charlie. And Charlie, as you can hear on these conversations from today and yesterday half day, is that he wants to, and I know people like that. I've seen people like that. There's these, I want to solve the problem. Like, nobody asks for this, but he wants to solve a problem. He is the problem solver. Give it to me, I will solve everything. Nobody asked you for that, but doesn't matter. He wants to solve a problem that doesn't even exist, or he creates the problem and solves its own problem. So I've seen people like that, and they're very difficult to deal with because they have almost their own life they're living in. They're like in a bubble. They create the bubble, they live in the bubble, they create the problem bubble, and they solve their own problem bubble. So it's a weird dynamic, and it's so hard to tell them excuse me, this is not reality, what you're seeing, right? So it is hard to talk, it's hard to show them because they are the doer, they want to create, this problem solver, so give it to me, I will do it, kind of thing. So he's the man, he's the problem solver. And so you can see in this conversation how he talks like this: I am the problem solver of everything. Mom, don't worry about this bumping, undercover person. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Of course, because he is the man, right? He balances everything out. I will deal with it. Don't worry, Mom. That's what he says to Donna. Don't worry about that. I will take care of it. I will take, and he immediately calls Katie. And Katie, let's go back to Katie, as I literally, from her sudden turning into monster, like her real faces comes out, it was clear to me that the only reason why he are together with, or she was together with him, or he was together with her, is because she wanted to milk his money. And obviously, as you know, she got $3,000 checks every month after the killing, right? And also Charlie gave a gift of a car to that killer, her husband, and then she got breast augmentation. I mean, guys, this is nuts. Like, she knew exactly how to milk the money. And if you watch other trials, you could see that many of these crimes are being done about money. That's the bottom line, right? The wife kills the husband for money. It's always about the money, right? Somehow they have a life insurance, and then somehow they got poisoned. Oops. And then somehow they got poisoned by the ex-wife, or the separation. The divorce is nasty, and it's again about money. We have seen this in the Lorianne. Hi, Lorianne. How are you? Let me see. I want to read this. Oops. I agree with Charlie, Donna, middle child complex. Charlie become the go-to by both psychological choice and default because exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? Because first son Rob rightfully chose estrangement. Again, exactly. Money is the root of all evil. Yeah, exactly. And you can see, like, I was just about to say, you could see that with doomsday. What was again that thing? The doomsday trial, whatever. I still want to do a video about the analysis of that, because I do a lot of videos about fake spirituality, and that was literally identical to what I was saying for years all along. So I want to do another video. Remind me of that, right? It's in my mind, but it's so much information, because I want to do like a comparison video of something, but it just takes a lot of time for me, so to do the technical stuff, right? But I will definitely do that. So doomsday video, doomsday trial is like that. The women who wrote a children's grieving book, the author, right, who poisoned her husband on the Valentine's Day, that was trial ongoing. That was about money, right? And like that doomsday trial, the husband knew it and changed the will, not will, but the life insurance. And the author who wrote a children's grieving book after she killed the husband, also the husband knew and changed the life insurance policy before. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The two husbands who died, knew that the wife would kill them, and changed right before they got killed by their wives, their life insurance policies, and then a boom was shocked after the husband was dead that oops, they're no longer in the life insurance. So it's just and then remember, there's another trial. She got convicted, was maybe last year or so, end of last year or beginning of this year, with the eye drop poisoning trial, right? She was taking care of an old lady who had all the money. She was faking her signature, so milking the money of that old lady she's taking care for. I mean, guys, this is just literally the money, right? So Katie McBanois obviously was about after the money, but Charlie, not the brightest, believed, because she was playing, right, the love, that another narcissistic trait, love bombing, right? Because you could tell how in the very beginning, when the bump happened and he calls her, he tells to the mother, don't worry, I wouldn't worry about it, I will take care of it. And then she calls straight to Katie and tell this happened, and Katie says, oh really? Oh, whoa, that's crazy. Really? Oh, that's bizarre. Like, wow. And he's like, yeah, really? Right? Yeah, right? He's like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, plays along, right? And then again, when he says, you gotta call them or I will go to the FBI. It's like, you like, to Charlie. And then you can tell totally it's all about the money. She found him. He thought the love bombing, that she's really into him. I mean, it's a mess, right? And we know Charlie Adelson's love story. During all of this, he makes somebody pregnant. I mean, what the heck, right? And so then literally in the trial, Katie comes back again and as a subpoena from the state and give a testimony against Donna Adelson, and she lied again. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. Like, how much you can more lie, because that's the thing. Pathological liars. And Katie has this attitude, I know it all. I am the smartest in the room and I can outsmart everything and everyone. That's her attitude. And guess what? I mean, another narcissistic trait. Like, I know it all. I mean, you guys are so dumb, like so dumb that, I mean, I can beat you like that. And that's her altitude. That's the love bombing, even in the courtroom. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Of course, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Ma'am. I mean, the eloquent speaking style, it's all the narcissistic. And pathological liar is another narcissistic trait. So she lies and says in the court today, or was it yesterday, that, yeah, it was yesterday, that she says she has no idea again. Like, what? And then we read after her testimony, then we hear all the voice messages. And you're like, guys, like, girl, what are you doing? Yeah, you lied again. And now when we think about the evidences, right? I mean, the state has pretty much, I mean, I love the state. I mean, I love Georgia and the other women. I mean, they are just rock stars, particularly the opening statement, if you haven't watched it, of that lady of the state, that woman, I don't know her name, but she, I mean, I am just so in love with them too. Not only, but I think they're so pretty. I love the hair. I love their shiny blonde hair they look so good. I mean, I love watching them, and I love the style of Georgia, and I love the hair and the style of the other women, and I just love them to watch them, right? But they're so smart. I mean, Georgia is super smart, and the other lady's opening was like rock star opening. But what is so interesting, they never ever, if you noticed, for the last 5 days, never said objection, never. They let him go on. But the problem also with the defense, they have nothing at the hand. And it's so hard to watch this defense attorney, the lady. I mean, she's just so, the way I don't like, I mean, you can be a defense attorney, but what's the attitude? Women, calm it down. What's with this smirky attitude? Like, bring a case. You got nothing. You got actually nothing. And the fact is, today in the jail, they brought 2 women out of the jail. Now it's 3, right? Katie McBanois, she came out of jail to testify for the subpoena. Then the other 2 ladies came today, also from jail, and the inmates, the former inmates of Donna Adelson, who Donna literally bribed them inside the jail. And guess what? Guys, you can't make this stuff up. She just can't stop it. She can't stop controlling people. She literally not only bribed the 2 ladies buying stuff, buying food, of course you buy them, and also offer them drugs while knowing that one of the inmates is a recovering addict. I mean, it gives a doctor's name when she gets out. You can call that doctor who prescribes you drugs. Like, what are you doing? Then she goes on, she gives a notebook of that inmate, and she writes in her diary of that woman question and 1 paragraph answer to each question, handwritten by Donna Adelson. It came out today, and this was an evidence, and the inmate said, yeah, that's her. And what is that for? She is telling me when you testify, you say this, you say that, you say this. And guess what? Like, you can't make this stuff. I mean, how more can you sing? The defense then argued the inmate tells Donna that she will say this, and Donna writes down what the inmate says about her case, about her testimony. Like, you can't make this, like, how, like, who says that? Like, who on earth would even believe that? What kind of defense argument is this? Defense literally argues that the inmate dictated and Donna write it down. Somebody like Donna. Like, what? And then guess what? The moment after they argued this, the defense, like, this stupid, Georgia brought in a criminal forensic technician who analyzed handwriting. I mean, this is new. In the most of the trial, we never seen any technician like this. So there was literally a picture. You can go back and watch it from today. It was today in the last final, the second of the last final person to testify, and there was literally handwriting of Donna Adelson of that notebook. Of course she wrote it. She literally says, you have to say this, you have to say that. Katie McBenois was this and what was that. And even this is what's so crazy, because liars, that's why I teach this on my channel, like always be honest and honesty, live by honesty, truth, and integrity. Why? Because whatever you lie, I'm not only this the right thing to do and the live life, but also if you live in a lie and another lie and another lie of that lie, another that lie of that lie, you not only will fall into your own grave, but also you dig yourself deeper into that hole, and you will not only forget what the lie was to begin with, but also you will always make a mistake. You give yourself a hint that everyone will immediately will pick it up. And what did she do? She wrote not only the wording, she wrote it with a, she says, extortion. She wrote extortion and underlined that. That, my friend, was the key. That this was what, even if it was the not the handwriting matching, which was matching, even without that, what did Georgia, the state, after that, because they argued that's not her handwriting, boom, handwriting expert. And then after that, what did the state do? The final, before the arresting, the final, she brought back again that agent, FBI agent, and then they looked into the digital forensics, the web search history, and to see and show to the audience, show to the jury, when she surged the difference between extortion versus blackmail. Like, I mean, you know, see what I mean? Like, if you live in a lie nonstop, then you do make a mistake. Honesty is always the greatest policy to live by, because I mean, we see this all the time, right? At work, with people, everywhere, right? You know, and I hope that with these analysis, we can now figure and really spot it and stay away from these people. If they love bomb you, if you feel like this is so deceptive. And the two inmates, they said, was Katie McBenois, trustworthy or manipulative? She said, yeah. They could smell it like from 10,000 miles away. She was manipulative. Was she? Yeah. She was not trustworthy because they immediately understood they were trying to get manipulated. So the first one was immediately understanding Katie is manipulative. And the other one was immediately understanding that Donna was manipulative and trying to play them. So the other one was understood that Katie was playing with them and Donna as well. But the second one, literally, who Donna was writing the handwriting in her diary, and she was love bombed by Donna, and all with that, I'll give you, she was offered not only money, but she also heard a grand piano. And then the doctor, she even gave the doctor's name when she gets out, that she will get the drugs from that doctor. And the first inmate was promised to make the dentistry, like nice teeth for her. And she had some like spaces during her teeth, so she got promised by Donna for that. So and then there was a boom final hit from the state, and then they rest the case. So because now with the Labor Day holiday, they will go back on Tuesday when the defense will start the case. And the judge asked the defense attorney, so how many, how long will you take for your defense? How many days and how long do you think will take? It's an absolutely normal and reasonable question to ask. Guess what he said? The guys, because they have no case. And he said, I would like to think about it and we'll get back to you on Tuesday. And the judge laughed and said, at least you have a knowledge and list of about your the people you will call, right? Your witnesses. And said, yeah, but I still would like to have time. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. So we will discuss this on Tuesday. So it was so interesting. And even during the whole thing, the judge even paused it when he asked the jury to go to lunch. And there was 3 breaks today because it was so many, oh my God, the Charlie Adelson talks. Our brains were blown out, right? So after the jury was gone and, for lunch break, he made a pause and said, listen, Donna, he raised her up and swore her in and said, listen, I guess because the judge understood they don't even have a strategy. Like the strategy is so absurd by kind of pushing the narrative like, no, she didn't write this. That inmate said it and she write it because the inmate told her to write it. Like, what kind of argument is this? So they're acknowledging. And that's another, do you see like how stupid is this? They're also with that acknowledging that this is her handwriting. You just said the defense attorney literally said that's not her handwriting. She didn't write this. But then they said she didn't write it to her. She was telling to her, Donna, and she was writing. So then you acknowledge that she wrote it. And after that, the judge sworn her in and said, listen, your defense attorneys are using a structure, a path of the defense. Are you aware of it? And she said, yes. Are you agreeing with it? So have you discussed it and are you agreeing with this strategy? And she said, yes. Why? And I'm so happy he said that. Why? So that eliminates her ability to later on argue, I had no idea. This is stupid strategy. I've never approved their stupid strategy. That's why the judge asked her, sworn her in, asked, are you aware of that strategy? She said yes. Are you agreeing with that strategy? She said yes. Case closed. Whatever the result is, Donna agreed. Donna knew. She can't argue, I have no idea about the stupid argument of my judges, of my defense attorneys. Because, I mean, bizarre on top of bizarre on top of bizarre. Like, unbelievable. One thing I want to also mention, what was that? I had it just in my mind about, what was that? I just flew out of my mind. I forgot, but it probably coming back into my mind. Yeah, okay, I want to also mention that I think, and many people also believe understood, this 100% wasn't about Donna by the state. It was full-blown, straight directed to Wendy. It is a matter of time that Wendy will be arrested, because there were so many new information that they put in, like squeeze them in, that's pointed straight to Wendy. And multiple times it was the questioning was about Wendy, and they pretty much also mentioned them many times, to say to whom, and the witness said to Wendy, to say to whom, to call whom, to say to whom, and who was this about, and who said to where. It was Wendy, 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 Wendy. So, and when you look back to Wendy's behavior, and watch, if you haven't watched it, watch Wendy's test, like the very first integration for 6 hours, whatever. Like the most bizarre, most made up behavior style that, every FBI agent would understand from the body language, that the fake crying and throwing names, right? I don't know who would do that. They would never. And then this person, and then cry, and then maybe this person, but never. And then cry, and then name, and then cry, and then they would never, right? Like, if you watch that, just go and watch it. Hard to watch. And then it is so bizarre that I haven't, for the first time I watched it, that, hi Journey to Justice, hi, I love justice here on this channel, like the last trial, let's see, oops, like the last trial, it was all about Gunnar in Charlie case. Like, yeah, let's talk about the behavior of Wendy for this trial versus Charlie's trial. The way she acted in Charlie's trial was absolutely bizarre, right? Like the smirkiness, the arrogance, like I'm so much smarter than anybody else. This time she was very humbled and very much down to earth, and she listen guys, I just also Donna, Donna, I was just thinking of Ghana. Well, what does it mean? Hold on, let me just read this again then. I like the last trial, it was all about Donna in Charlie's case. Yeah, oh my god, yes, exactly, right, exactly. Now this time, so they know, okay, there's something behind going on. The FBI knows, the state knows, they're building the case. With every trial, there's, as you just said, right? It was about, in Charlie's trial, it was about Donna's trial, now it's all about Wendy. It was not much about Donna, honestly. And Donna, again, she knew exactly how to protect herself during all the non-stop talk by Charlie. She was like calm and quiet, and I could barely hear whatever the heck she was saying. She knew that. She was not speaking pretty much at all. She, not today. We will meet. Sure. Yeah. And he's like, is Charlie's talking. So even the jury in the morning today, because the half of the day we heard yesterday, all the voice, the voice calls. And my stomach was like really upset because it was so hard to listen to, like that. The quality of the conversation was so bad, and when Donna spoke, it was hard to hear, and there's this noises. It was just so, my stomach felt so upset, because I'm so sensitive from the noises and all of that. So, and even in the beginning of the trial today, obviously the jury asked the judge and said, listen, we can't even hear. I mean, do we have to go by the transcript or by what we hear? And they say what you hear, okay? And it was so hard to hear. But Wendy's behavior this time was very much about, like, very much calmer, less chaotic. I think everybody was less chaotic. Even Katie was less chaotic, while she still lied again, that she has absolutely no idea about nothing, right? Which is absolutely like, girl, we heard you a million times. Every time your story changes. And so in this time also, Wendy was more calm, more collected. But there was a moment, I mean, I was just about to say that, and then something happened. But when you look about this, when we look at from the family perspective or sociological perspective, it is so, I mean, yeah, if we just forget about everything, focus on the trial, and that's not what I'm doing on my channel, right? We talk about the sociology and socio-psychological effects of behavior of people, right? And if you look from the outside like this, step back, it's so hard to watch children of in a family not only murder people, but also like brutally murder and go about their lives like nothing happened, but also testify against each other. This was like, if you just, how sad it is, isn't it? Imagine like the daughter testifies against the murder of her husband against her brother, and then the daughter testified against the mother, and the whole family is a mess. And they used to be such a high, like, quality, I don't want to say high level Miami, you know, rich, ultra rich and known family, super high educated, all their careers are top notch careers, down to toilet. I mean, so sad, isn't it? All why? Because of the endless power grab and control by, I guess, mother. Charlie is also not to even blame. I mean, imagine Charlie's childhood. We just talked about the middle child complex, right? Mom, I'm here. See me, see me, see me. Yeah, I'm here, mom. And all goes on and on and on. Mom talking to mom every day, all day, hours. And even people said, you know, when is he even working? And then Wendy says, oh, he's in this interrogation time. He's like, he's working all the time from early morning until late nights. Of course he works, because he's speaking nonstop to his mother on the phone, or making women pregnant, dating nonstop women. I don't know, but of course he works nonstop until late night, because he's old. And even during the trial, when we just hear, he calls Katie and Donna calls Charlie calls Katie, like the whole, and we like within 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole day. Like, when are you even working? Where are your patients, god damn it, right? And so again, coming back to that, when I really hope that when you next time watching these trials, I always not only watching from the behavior, like how they react, the act, the behavior, the psychology, what happened to them in their life, probably, so that they turn out to be, I don't know, the murderer, the killer, or the manipulator, whatever. I always analyze every trial like that, and also the socio-psychological effects of people like that, so we can bring it up so people are more aware that the danger by those people, right? And so in this case, it was such a moment. I really want you to go back to that. The moment Wendy came onto the stand, there was a moment when Georgia asked, and she was talking, Donna, and can you show us where she sit? Like, can you locate Donna? And then she says, yes, my mom. And then she turns, I mean, I can't even cry right now. It was such a touching moment. And the milli moment her voice changed, she was like, you please catch that, watch that. She looks over to her, and then she says, I cannot see what she's wearing from here. And she pauses, and then she says, she sits diagonal or something, or across from me or something. She sits over there or something like that, where her voice really, you can feel the emotion and her voice shake there. That was so sad. And then you can see her eyes, you know, her eyes became, you could feel her emotion. Her eyes became a little wet, and it was very a sad moment. I want you to watch that, because we shouldn't forget about the humanity, like being a human, right? Everybody's a human, right? And yes, people make mistakes, even horrible mistakes, but I always like to, and please, I mean, I really, really want to do the doomsday, what is it, Lori Daybell or whatever? Lori Daybell. I want to do video just because of her, because there's so much to talk about just her. Not only the whole thing of that bizarre stuff, the fake crap that's going on, but just her. She has this wealth of information of everything psychological. Many people wouldn't agree with me, but many people overlook something so important about her. And because I know, I could see that, because I also analyze a lot about fake spirituality, you know, people who fake the crap out of people on YouTube, right? Fake tarot reader, fake astrologer, talk a lot about those, and those are identical with everything that happened. Even the wordings, I even have on my channel a video that all the wordings are on the thumbnail, you can see. Watch that video, because those literally identical. That's why I keep warning people about these fake spiritual people on YouTube, which literally harming people. And the end of scale of it, the ultra scale of it, is the identical stuff that happened in the Doomsday trial. And so many more identical, like we see a lot for the last few years, right? In Utah, there's a lot in Utah going on, right? With these religious cults, which their family kill their children because they somehow evil. They hear that's an evil, or that two women, right, who tortured their children because the psychological spiritual leader told them their children are evils. So they started to torture and put their children into cages, right? So we know that they're now, thank God, they're in life in prison, whatever. But that's the end scale of it. That's why I'm trying to really warn people about these fake spiritual people. And this is all the edges of all of this, right? I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot always like some sort of belief system, or but this is the play. The ultimate stuff what's going on is the power control, the control of people, the cultist. What is cultism? Cultism is literally, I have control over you. And all of this, all of the murders is like, I have, and why people torture their children, why people torture elderly, why they poison the elderlies to get their money, is because I have the power over you, which I never had in my life, in my childhood, or nobody, everybody was bulldozering me, everybody run all over me. I have no power over nobody. But now suddenly I'm an adult, and now I can smash people and show my power. And that's why so many children, so many elderly get tortured by people, because the lack of being seen, the lack of being acknowledged, the lack of being really being loved as who they are as a human being, right? Lack of love. I always talk with my dad. So many evil stuff in this world is because, when you think about it, is basically of so much lack of love, right? So many people, when you remember that treadmill trial, I mean, that was hard, like another childhood. I mean, I can go on with these videos about childhood crises and how there's identical copy to their children. For example, with that treadmill trial, right? The father who tortured on the treadmill the boy, his only son, 5-year-old or something, on the treadmill. When you, of course, yeah, he hated that the women he get pregnant, the mother of the child, right? He hated her so much that he put all his hate on him. But like, nobody's talking about it at the trial. And also, by the way, the result of the trial is so horrendous that he only get, I don't know, 20 years, 15 years or something. And let me tell you this, I hope not. And even the mother said, I'm so horrified, mortified, when he gets out of jail, he'll kill me. He will kill me. And I think it's true. The eyes and the hate was so over the top. I mean, I was scared for her when we hear about the result of that ridiculous outcome. She was so scared, and I was scared for her. Yes, 100%. He was so angry, even more so. This woman is in danger. So I want to get that straight. That woman is in danger. So number that. But another thing is, they are a rich family, and this father has connections, right, with the, I don't know, state or whatever the heck. So that is an influencer, like a very big shot, that father, and has a big shot people that he knows in the network. I think also that's because he got such a low, and even when he got sentenced, it was written, it was said, he turned and looked to his dad, and they made like an eye contact. You couldn't see it, like they were like kind of like I got you kind of moment there. And you could tell immediately that this person has severe father issues. Even on that, as an adult, I mean, you, by the way, and I will make another, I already have made videos about it, these fake psychologists, right? We know all of these, even in the murder trials, all the fake psychologists, right? Like the PhD student YouTuber, very chicky girl, like, right, nice to look at, and she literally murdered the two twin babies, remember that? And one died. I don't know what she did, but there were a lot of in their groin area of the little baby. The groin area was so many things that later on that baby died, and the other baby was injured as well. So she's in jail. And there's another psychologist who lured in young women, a young girl, in a hotel and trafficked on her. I mean, guys. And this treadmill guy, the father, is also a psychologist. Like, you cannot make this stuff up. I talk a lot on my channel. I have so many videos about fake psychologists. They are very, very, very dangerous. I talk a lot about it because they are like, psychology is such a field. I mean, as a scientist, I can 100% say that, right? This is not about math. It's not about biology, not physics, not chemistry. Psychology, it's not even psychiatry that is based on medicine. Psychology, you have to be so careful, because you can easily, like the spiritual people, the fake spiritual people, manipulate the crap out of people. So, and when the psychologist, and that's, I made a lot of videos about the people with problems, childhood problems, are oftentimes the ones who are turning into psychologists. Not as in a psychologist degree, well, it's often the ones. That's why I really want you to caution. Look, I always look when I hire people, or when I decide to a lawyer or a doctor or whatever the heck, I always look into their resume or CV. Always. Because particularly when you look into, I want to make another video on that, how to select a great lawyer, how to select a great psychologist. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do that, because there's so many critical things you have to look into. And when you look into the psychologists, the fake ones, they are not the ones that have the degree, like an undergrad or grad. It's always the ones. And I know for a fact, people, I know like that. I mean, I know in person people like that. You're like, you are nuts. You're actually cuckoo. And you are now going on as a psychologist, have patience. Like, you got to be kidding, right? You're actually a psycho. There's so many. And even on YouTube, these professors, covering narcissism, there you're actually psycho. Like, you can see the eyes, right? Psycho eyes. I will make another video on the psycho eyes, right? Like the eyes, oh my god, the eyes. And so oftentimes are the ones who have a degree on something else. So, and funny enough, journalism, I see a lot journalism, or some sort of arts kind of degree. And then after that, they decide, I want to be a psychologist. And those are on YouTube as well. The many people who are covering psychological topics like narcissism or I don't know, character types, they're oftentimes, you can tell by the way they speak, by the way they educate, or not even educate, I mean talk about that stuff, are coming from their own hurt, coming from their own pain. You can just smell it from 10 million miles away. So oftentimes then they decide, okay, I would like to become a psychologist. So they go off and get either like a course or class for 3 months. Yeah, believe or not, 3 months, not even a year, maybe like 1 year, some degree, and they get a certificate. Oftentimes they get, and I'm not just talking about United States, I'm talking worldwide. I know people from overseas, from Europe and all that stuff too, like identical, like even in the United States as well. These extra degrees, extra curriculums, extra certifications, and now it's even further horrible with all the coaches, life coaches, whatever the heck coaches, all of the bizarre stuff is coming out on YouTube. You can watch it all the time. It's just it smells from 10 million miles away. And then when they got these degrees, they're now psychologists. And then everything turns awry because they have, and even in these YouTube videos, you can tell they are trying to heal themselves as they do that. But that's the danger. So you can, because what they do is they impose their own understanding or their own problems to that person while that person doesn't even have that problem. Do you see? Like, it's so dangerous. And that, coming back to that treadmill dude who tortured his child, that was also a psychology degree later on, getting a psychological certification, whatever, while he had all of these troubles in his pauses, whatever, in his resume, right? So later on, out of the nowhere, he just became a psychologist and got a certification. But he tortured his son. Why? Because you can tell the way he looked at his father in the court, the way he communicated and way he was so submissive, and the father was like that in the court. You could tell right away. I mean, black and white, he was so suppressed by his father in his childhood. Full stop. He got so much anger towards his life because there were so many issues during his life that he had to deal with, and you could tell that the father was such a controlling man. You can see it in the courtroom too, right? So the way he still looked at him like he was the little boy, that's so sad. Like, an adult man is looking and behaving next to his father like a little boy, literally crumped in, and the way he looks at him like, father, like, I'm this little boy. So hard to watch, and nobody mentioned that. And that's what I like to analyze, and not only like to, but it's in my face. I see it. It's right in your face. And that's why I like to talk about this, because when you watch these murder cases, it's just so sad that they have clearly, or the man, or was it the women? I don't remember. The two siblings who brutally killed, butchered the mother and the dog. Remember that? Was, I think, last year or something, or 1.5 years ago. Remember that? But they thought that she was a witch. Remember that? Like, they literally butchered her and the dog. And then the daughter was talking to the right at that moment when they come in, the police, she was flirting with them, like as poof, nothing has happened. So unreal stuff. And it's so sad to see, even in the Adelsons, like how messed up can all of this be, a family be, or how messed up a person's brain, that the power, the thirst of power and control so much that you're so blinded you can kill somebody, and just because I'm so rich, like I can pay everybody, I can just, nothing has happened, right? I can live my life, move to Florida, move to Miami, go on with my life. 11 years passed and still believe I can pay everybody everything. And not in living in this bubble, living in their own created world. And that's just so dangerous and not so hard to, and all the manipulation, all the lies, all the believing in their own lies even. And then what happens? Their children testify against the mother. The sibling testify against the other sibling. I mean, I don't wish this to anyone in any shape or form. It is so hard. And the final thing I want to say, and then I will probably end this here, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. Thank you so much for all the likes. I appreciate that. Is that particularly watch of people like Katie McBanoa, right? Like love bombing, super manipulative, super first, like that's the stage, right? I mean, we can even talk about Meghan Markle, correct? Like everything is identical with that behavior too. I mean, I'm not agreeing, but I'm not liking these Meghan Markle videos a lot, because it's so even poisonous the way they just talk about this, like it's full of hate. I don't like her, but if you want to educate, just take away your own hate. I mean, I don't like her whatsoever. And I feel so bad. Maybe I can do another video on why I feel so bad for both William and Henry. Henry needs help, I swear to God. Like he needs so much help and hug, because he's so blind. And that's what I'm saying. Like Katie McBanoa, it's identical to behavior, like love bombing, the stages, right? Love bombing, like agreeing all the time. And I see this also with narcissistic women that in my friends group that took, and I made lots of videos about that, took away my best friends, male friends from me, who were literally, if you just see them because they want to grab them, right? It's like laughing at everything comes out of the man's mouth. If you see women like that, you know it's like, because men, you know, women and people like when people laugh at their jokes, right? It's a human thing. It's a human, but guys, of course, like then, you know, if the women is more like flirty and laughy and laughs at every joke and is agreeing, yeah, it's the manlyhood, right? Like Katie McBanoa agreeing, like, yeah, of course. Oh my God, this is horrible. Like, yeah, do you know this happened? And then once they cling on that man, and the man is so right, has so low a self-esteem that needs that attention. That's also another sad part, because these bloodsuckers really select the people who need this, who are lacking of that. That's the target. And my goodness, Charlie Adelson is that target, perfect target, and plus the money. Not only emotionally target, but with the money, right? Like, tring, like how perfect can this be? The target. And so, watch of this love bombing, watch of these type of non-stop agreeing. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, everybody's agreeing with me, right? And I see this a lot by YouTubers too, because it's like, oh my God, everybody's agreeing with me. And then you feel like, oh my God, and you pump people up. That's also dangerous. Like, why? Shouldn't be like that, right? And so then once they cling in the pocket, right? Boom, in the pocket, and then out of a sudden, when God forbid you do something wrong, push the wrong button, that person turned into inside out, upside down, inside out, like a monster. And also the non-stop manipulation, non-stop lies, but such in a flirty way that person who is already now in the bubble will not be able to understand that. And that's why it's important to explain that, so that we can be cautious by people like that. And if you are women and the male does the same thing, right? The manipulation, the lie, and the love bombing, and then ghosting and love bombing, and all of this stuff is like, it's if you feel, that's why I always want to say to you, and people are so in this day and age stuck on terminology. In the past, like 15 years, 20 years ago, there were no word. Nobody talks about narcissism, psychopath. Nobody talks about it. Weren't they there? Hell, they were there. They were there my entire life. And I'm definitely more than 20 years old, okay? They were all, like, my entire life. But I didn't even know these terminologies while my entire life I was dealing with people like that. Now it's like the terminology, like narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, but and this new age type of what's are they non-stop talking about? Oh my God. When the emotion not available, what they are saying about that, the terminology using. Anyway, so this terminology that people are stucking in their brains, and I want you to stay. You don't need to know, and people are so keen to making this diagnosis. What is this now? A psychopath? Is now a sociopath? Is like a narcissist? Doesn't matter. I always say it doesn't matter. Why? Because if somebody lies to your face and you feel it in your bone that somebody is such a, like, imagine you in your friend circle, suddenly you have somebody like Katie McBanoa, non-stop, or Wendy Adelson, non-stop manipulating, right? Like this love bombing and flirting and all, like, it's something off. Correct? So you don't need to, is this a narcissist? Is she a psychopath? Is she a sociopath? Who cares? She lies the crap out of you, right? She nonstop manipulates you to do something, to get something, love bombing you and then ghost you, and something is off. That's it. It's all you need to know. Or undermines you, manipulates you for her benefit or his benefit. That's all you need. That's what I want you to focus on. If you know this is not right, and that's why I keep teaching people in my channel, when we live always in the truth, honesty, and integrity, like I did all of my merch and t-shirts like truth, honesty, integrity, you can smell 10 million miles away that this is not right. And because this is not right, this person has no entrance into my life, full stop, go away, knock the next door. This door is closed. That's all you need. And in order to do that, you need to be strong. You need to be strong in your own power, in your own brain, in your own mind, in your own heart and soul, like strong. And even, I mean, it doesn't, when you say, okay, you know what, I have so much childhood issues, whatever, who hasn't? That's what I'm trying to explain. They make it so, people on YouTube and etc., they make it so like, oh my God, you are so damaged, or these people are so damaged. Everyone had always issues, but the more you emphasize it, like, oh my God, what is it, that narcissistic mother, or like the narcissistic father. I mean, yeah, we see horrible people, but the way in this day and age has been so and that is the poison when we see in this new age, in the crime, like how many people, and I keep mentioning it, that kill their own mother. There's so much hate against mothers. There's so much hate. So like, that's why I said they chopped off the mother. How many cases, murder cases, are the children killing their mothers because of this ultra hate? Even the girl, right? Oh my God, the girl, the girl who is a hot teenager, a juvenile, butchered, murdered, brutally murdered, and even it shows in the camera, right, as she did that, she lures in the kitchen and then goes upstairs and horrendously kills her mother. Remember that? And those things are this ultra, and that's why these videos we are watching is so poisonous, dangerous. That's why I don't like these Meghan Markle videos, like this ultra hate towards her. Like, calm down. Calm down. That's not even your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend. Calm down, right? And so we need to be able to distinguish, and yes, we all might have issues, right, on entire lives. I mean, if I can write a second PhD on all the narcissists, and really vicious, nice. Until to date, I live every freaking day. I live with this ultra poisonous narcissists, and I have to deal every day. And it seems like I nonstop attract these people. The more you are in your power, and that's why you don't have to be worried about. I have multiple videos on how you actually legally can you protect yourself against narcissists that no one talks about. I have a video, look into my channel. How can you actually protect yourself legally protect yourself, that nobody's talking about from narcissists? Because I win cases against narcissists. They think they have the power. They don't. Why? I always live in honesty, truth, integrity. Check. I have nothing to lie about ever in my life. Check. I know the law. Check. I know how to collect information. Check. So who can beat that? Nobody. That's why I'm not afraid. Come on, bring it on. In the past, you're like, oh my God, they do this to me. Now you're like, in the background, I have all the receipts. How in this day and age people say receipts, right? Evidence, right? Come on, bring it on. I have nothing to lie. I never lie in my entire life. I live by truth, honesty, integrity. I know the law. I do research. I understand. I'm not stupid. And I have all the evidence. Come on, bring it on. Come on. And now I win all the time. I even created a course. How you can, my blueprint, 3-step blueprint, how you can get justice. That's exactly my blueprint that I always follow. It's on my website. Go and get the course. My 3-step blueprint. draygenshahin.com/courses. And you can see this strategy, my blueprint, makes me get my justice all the time. And that's why I found this, that's why I focus on empowerment and education, is because knowledge is power. I recommend everyone to learn the law. Learn the law. If you are in a foreign country, go and learn the law. If you are a tenant, learn your state's tenant law. If you are a homeowner, learn in your state the law for homeowners. Like, you know, and that's how you can protect always yourself. And that's why there's no need for you to be diving into this hatred. Oh my God, the narcissist. Doesn't matter if it's a narcissist, a psychopath, whatever. Is it bad for you? Bye-bye. Next door. If they still come at you, then you know how to protect yourself. Right? Black and white, and also protect yourself. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can do it, and you have to do it, because sometimes these people are, they're so nasty, they just don't go away, and it goes on and on and on and on. And then you know your strategy. Then, because I always do the same blueprint, within 24 hours I get my justice. Within 24 hours, overnight. And I have several proofs of that. And because if you train yourself to be that, then it doesn't matter who that person is. Whether it's your family member, whether it is your neighbor, your boss, your colleague, whatever the heck, your boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. And at that point, it really doesn't matter. Because at that point, this shouldn't be your boyfriend, your girlfriend anyway. And if, like Rob Adelson, who completely estranged himself, exactly, that's the way to do it. And you can tell his pain in his soul, in his eyes, very uncomfortable. Imagine that your entire family is in the entire world's eyes in a not good way, while you spend your entire life in high-level schools and grades and work hard and get the degrees, get a career, get all the money, marry amazing people, and then look at this. It's so sad. But we can, even the people who are here watching this, one step at a time, we can, if we adopt this type of mentality in everyday life, in every single thing we do and people we encounter, then we can really change a lot of things. And that's why I do actively these videos, to show people the other side of, instead of going mainstream full bulldozering of one level of understanding, which is very not only dangerous, it's harmful for the person's own how people feel inside, but also for the society. How much can we hate further? Non-stop hate. And the more it gets these hateful and fake and nasty type of videos, fake gurus, fake spiritual leaders, fake psychologists, oh my God, I have to say this too. I wanted to make another video on this just for that, but I have to say it here since it's the topic now. Fake spiritual gurus, right? Fake tarot reader, astrologer, whatever on YouTube. I talk a lot about that. Then I talked a lot about fake psychologists. And now, believe or not, this week, because as you know, I run a cancer nonprofit organization, right? So my state's attorney general collected for all nonprofit leaders and made a webinar, and explaining, how they are there for nonprofits, which was great to hear our attorney general caring about us, right? It was amazing. And there were several people as speakers in their department, attorney general's office department, and one was about, I believe, safety, and she said something that blew my mind. And she said, was about, how nonprofits who are serving, the underserved, obviously, right, or like immigrants and what have you, and when the ICE people come in and do, what to do, what to say, they should be trained, whatever. And so she said that she said to us, the audience, the nonprofit leaders, that we have to be cautious of fake lawyers, fake immigrant lawyers. I was like, what is happening? Fake immigrant lawyers? The Attorney General's office warned us about fake immigrant attorneys, lawyers. Like, I was like, that day I wanted to make a video, but I couldn't. I was so like overwhelmed, like so busy. But I'm telling you right now, I will do the videos about this. Fake spiritual gurus talk about this for years. Fake psychologists talk about this for years. There was not something else about I want to say, but I forgot. But fake immigrant attorneys? You got to be kidding, right? Like, what have we become? This is extraordinary times that we live in. Imagine that these people, okay, fake spiritual gurus, they use the spirituality or even religion to get money out of people and have power over them, manipulate them, get their money. Cultism, right? Check. The fake psychologists use your damaged childhood, because everybody, according to them, has a damaged childhood. Check, right? Make money, non-stop. Check. Now, with the current state of the ICE and the deportation, what have you, now they are fake immigrant lawyers. And people's lives are in stake. I mean, if the other ones wasn't a life in stake, right? Like manipulating your pain of your childhood, if that's not psychologically horrible enough, leads to danger, and the other ones as well. But immigrant lawyers, that lives are in stake here, does anybody care? What have become? Like, what have we become, right? This as a society. And that's why, please keep your eyes and ears open. Again, if you need to hire somebody, look into their resume, CV. and don't even trust. And that happened to me by full-blown somebody recommends somebody to you. I've seen this a million times. Horrible. It can be very, as my experience, I like to do my own research, find out their resumes and research them, look into them. And even, let's say, for an attorney, when somebody, a really large attorney group in the United States, recommend an attorney, so good, whatever, and you would blindly trust, right, that this huge company suggested that attorney. And of course, I'm a scientist, and my entire life I've had enough from people, right? I was like, okay, I can do that. I have to research myself. And when I did, for that certain specific topic I needed that lawyer, I just by Googling, I found out that this particular lawyer, it was even in the news for the opposite of what is pushing for the opposite of what I was wanting to hire him for. Then that shows to me that his mentality is not even there. Like, he would never, you could never trust, because he wouldn't be there with his heart and soul. It's all about money then, right? Let's say if you hire somebody and you say, I want to hire for this red, and then you do your research, and then you see this person, and the opposite side is black, like red and black, and then you do research, and then you like, he was already in the black side. He would never even, you could not even pitch to him that I need the red. The blacks are so poisonous, they do this and this and this to me, I need the red. But you see all over the news, he was passionately really pushing for the black. And like, that's it. I know the difference between lawyers who do really this for money and lawyers who really believe in whatever that thing is. And that you can tell there's a huge difference. And I experienced both. And one who was just for the money, like this person, I already experienced this back in Europe, that people that were straight recommend them to me, these lawyers, both are like ultra, if it's good for them, fine, don't even come close to me, because I know this, whatever you believe in. That's not my stand. But then when I do my own research, find my own lawyer, that person is really so connected to what you are standing and believing. And this happened to me twice. Would you even say that your lawyer was an angel? I had that. Actually, like an earth angel. And when you have that, you can trust so much. And then you become a team instead of blood sucking. Because in what was recommended to me in Europe, I was so young, and I was in my early 20s, and I had somebody recommend me. I have no idea, like, what? 3 years that person sucked the blood out of me, meaning money and blood and my entire psychology. I still am damaged by that, like PTSD, just from the lawyer. And then I said, okay, that's it. I was so empowered after 3 years of horrible damage that person, that lawyer, PTSD caused me, and sucked all the money out of me. I was only a PhD student at that time, but it sucked the money out of me so much. And then I said, okay, that's it. I have had it here. I was so like the last push, all the energy, all the thing I had. I said, I will find my own lawyer. Like, I mean, the lawyer that I want. I did all the research, and many people who don't know that, not only I, yes, look into their resume, background, what have you, but also this is so important, the picture. You don't know about that probably from about me, but give me a picture of a person. By looking at the picture, I can tell the childhood problems. I can share with you the entire psychology of the person, because the psychology, the background of the person is integrated in the face. Every single face expression is the past. It's integrated. Many people don't understand that. You can, the body language, how you stand, how you sit, how you take the picture. Is your head up? Is your head down? Every single mimic has a meaning. And I looked at the picture and I knew this was him. That was back that time. Oh my God, that person literally was so empathetic, so calming me down, and so really, really wanting to help me. And guess what? Done. I won. Like this. Unreal. Unreal. So whenever, that's why I'm saying, not giving the power away to others, but having, that's why I focus always on the empowerment videos, to have our empowerment and education. That's key. It's life-saving. I say this from our cancer patients as well. Like, if you know, you are saved. If you don't know, you can go into that train down the toilet and nobody can rescue you, because you wouldn't even know that you need to be rescued. And that is the power of knowledge and your own, like, I will take the charge of my life in my hand. Whether it's finding the lawyer, whether it's finding your employer, whether it's find your girlfriend, boyfriend, or the place you live in. If you have this bad taste and it smells bad, your landlord, and that, trust that. And yeah, I think I leave it here. Do you have any questions, guys? I'm so happy that you're here. Oh my God, it was so sweet. Do you have any questions? Let's do 3 more minutes, and then I will end it, this call. I mean, not call, the live stream. I'm so happy that you're here. So do you have any questions or anything you want to say, like what should I cover from everything I mentioned so far? Or do you like this? Do you like this style? And do you like what I said? And does it make sense to you? Anything else that you would like to share? Don't be shy. So also tell me what your plans are for Labor Day. I can't even believe that the summer is over. Like, what just happened? I worked non-stop through every single time through summer, and I have now back-to-back meetings. So I non-stop prepare. So I'm very tired. I'm very, very tired, but I'm so happy to, I love to come on live on Friday nights, because it feels like nice, calming, like the entire week. So I really miss my folks on my YouTube. It's just a very lovely community, and I love the comments, very highly educated, and that's why I'm so proud that people coming on my channel. Our community is very highly educated and really great people, and you know, not the crazy ones that we see often. And I'm just very happy and proud of that. So yeah, I guess since I don't see any comments, Kristen, was so great to see you here. Miss you so much. Hope to see you again. So of course we will do our Sunday lives again. And if you don't know, if you're new here, the Sunday lives, I do this for years. It's all about empowerment, all about ourselves. And it's a great way to be empowered for the week, just for us, not talking about other people. It's about us. And as I mentioned, we need to be empowered, right? During the week, it's all about knowledge, education, and analysis. But on the weekend, on Sunday, it's all about us. How can we empower ourselves and can be strong for the week, for the month, etc. So if you like that, of course, happy to have you. And if you haven't already, of course, check my website and my blog. I have very comprehensive articles that I write that are very educational, very detailed about a lot of topics, because we talk a lot about Medicare, Medicaid, and all the what's going on in the House and the Senate and the laws, what have you, how they affect people. So I like to educate people about that, and I do this for years. If you also look into my my YouTube channel, I have series of, in COVID time, I did a lot of education and advocacy. I do a lot of activism and advocacy for certain medical stuff, right? Because I'm from the medical side, and we do talk a lot about what's going on in healthcare. If you're interested, because I also do a lot with the United Nations, because we are United Nations award-winning organization. So I will go back also in September to the United Nations, and we were accepted to be there. So if you would like, go to my LinkedIn, and you will follow every day now until the end of September a lot about what's in stake for cancer patients and how we push the amendments that's currently being proposed by the United Nations that will be detriment to cancer patients. They will actually die and that's why I push these amendments in the zero draft that will be becoming policy until 2030. So for 5 years, there will nothing be changed. And that is about, they are trying to globally, and you can see this in also here in the United States for years now, and now in other countries all over the world now, they already for years started to slowly integrate that to do everything based on primary care. So basically you have to go through primary care, not directly to specialists. But for cancer patients, every second is critical. So you can't go through the primary care for cancer patients. So that's one thing, and there's a lot of other stuff. So please, there's already posted. So if you're interested, go there and follow my advocacy on that. And also on my website, I will talk also a lot about responsible AI, ethical AI, data security, data privacy, and cyber criminals, right? I talk a lot about that. I have a lot of comprehensive videos, also articles. And I will create 2 new YouTube channels. I hope you will also join. So one will be about only about responsible AI, ethical AI, and data privacy and data security. So all about that. So we need to, this bubble will be blown away. We are currently in a huge AI bubble, and people don't understand how AI is being used, or what is it for and how does it work. People still use AI as Google, but that's not data driven. It's a learning machine, and people just don't understand that. And another amendment is the digitalization of AI, I mean, digitalization of healthcare, what they're trying to push in the policy. But you can't have full-blown digitalization without control and data security, data privacy, and the oversight of the digital products and apps, what have you, in healthcare. Like, you got to be kidding, right? So that's another amendment I push. So yeah, if you would like to support, join our mission, please come and please join and share this with everybody, and you can spread the word. And if you want to donate, you can also donate. That would be great. And so be part of our mission as well, right? So and the other YouTube channel I want to start is, I mean, I'm just literally working on this for so long, but I just don't have the time. So what I really want to do is as soon as possible, and that will be about neurohypersensitivity. And neurohypersensitivity is something that I did describe, and it's about neurological and genetic condition. And if you probably are familiar with people, if you have probably heard the wording highly sensitive person, no. And it's so wrong. It's just the way it's been described as a psychological, I don't know, psychological condition, problem, whatever the heck. It's not psychological, full-blown stop. So people explain that now it's popping out from everywhere for the last couple of years, and my advocacy is about to not only determine this as a neurohypersensitivity person myself, and also proving that this is a genetic and neurological condition. And also because if you follow me for some time, you know that yes, I am very empathetic, right? Even for murder. That's why when I see the murder cases, I immediately dive into the people's psychology and their brain. I go straight into their brain because it's natural for me. I can do that. That's why I can see people's face and know the entire background, because that's heightened. My brain is just heightened with that, and it has nothing to do with psychology. It's neurological. And my dad and my grandma, we all are like that. This means we are also practically on day-to-day lives are very highly sensitive towards stimulations, like smell, like taste, like noise, and light, the flickering light. That's neurological. You can't say it's psychological. Like, you've got to be kidding, right? And also a very now starting huge misconception is about, because of the overstimulation of the neurosensory, people with zero clue, psychologists, that is, psychologists, suggesting it derives from autism. Like, you got to be kidding. Because I even have done test for autism, a straightforward test for autism, I mean, I not only passed it, I blew that test away because it has nothing to do with autism. Just because it's the sensory overload is absolutely separate, completely separate. And my goal is to educate and advocate for people like us, because our entire lives is like a torture for me, for my dad, right? But also people, because we are so empathetic, because we are so understanding of people, of course we are nonstop attracting narcissists. But the way they talk about this topic about narcissism and highly sensitive person is about like this hate towards the narcissist, and that's not the true empathetic person. Like people like me, like my dad, like my grandma, we don't hate people. Like, it's just, even if it's for example, for me, when I see the ultra highest murderer, like vicious murderer, who gets in that courtroom, gets the conviction, okay, my heart burns from pain. At that moment, I just see a person who has a life. I mean, whose life is going down to toilet. That's how I see. That's what I see. Yes, you can say, but. Yes, of course, he did all, or she did all of these things. But that's what I'm trying to explain. That new channel is that I can't help it. My dad can't help it. My grandma. It's just we have severe, like really heightened level of empathy. That's why I'm saying I feel terrible when people talk with hatred about Meghan Markle. No, I don't like her. I mean, 100% full-blown narcissist, yes. But to talk with hatred, and it doesn't help at all. And also, when I see that with all the Adelsons, whatever, it is so sad. I see the other side too, because it tortures my soul. It hurts my heart to see children, testify each other in a murder case, like, or the children testify against some mother, like, oh. And I hope that not only I will advocate for people like me, which really is torturous when everything is so noisy and everything is so loud, and your neighbor is loud, your I don't know, people play music and you're like, ah, or the smell, the food, whatever, or the flickering lights. For example, when you walk and there's this flashing light of a police car, whatever, I just can't look at it. I just can't. My eyes, oh my God, I feel like my brain is popping out of my head. Or a train, when a train passes by, I can't look at the train passing by, so I look away. And those things has nothing to do with psychology. It's a neurological fact. And so that's the point. We'll cover the neurological part, but also from the empathy side, that people so misunderstand that we are this empath, that we are so weak, that we are attracting all the narcissists and they have power over us, and we are so weak because we are the empath. Like, let's screw that. No, I have tons of videos on this channel where I talk about empaths are actually very, very powerful. And because of that, we are attracting all these narcissists who want to suck up our power. But the way it's been discussed is like, oh, we weak, because empathy is so weak. You're just so weak. How can you see a murder? For even like for me, when I see the politicians, I don't trust any politician, either side, doesn't matter, whatever country, doesn't matter. I don't trust politicians, full stop. Full stop. And I smell it from 10 million miles away, they're BS. So don't get me started with politicians. But even the most horrible politician, when something happened to them, they get convicted, they go to jail, whatever. I feel so bad. I feel sad. I don't want to see anyone, for example, when they get fired, right? The politicians in the cabinets, they get fired, and this get fired, and this person gets fired, and people like like on YouTube, right? The comments like this person. I just cannot feel happy. I just can't, because being fired is not fun. It's not funny. It's not a good thing. Yes, you can say, but, I don't care about the but at that moment, right? Because that person has a child, that person has probably a lot of things going on. It's not, I always think this, when something, this is maybe how you can understand that. There's a saying in Turkish language. It says, don't laugh at your neighbor because it will happen to you, or come back at you, or something, or whatever. It's something like, it's come back and bite you, right? Something like that. And that's so true. It is true. It has happened to me a million times. So that's, if you can call it karma, whatever you want to call it karma, doesn't matter. Again, the terminology, don't stuck on terminology. If you laugh at somebody else's misery, it will come back to you and bite you. It will come back, because that's how universe works. That's how everything works in this universe, is because it's not good. Being fired, if somebody gets fired, that person got fired, maybe 2 months later you will get fired. And then you're like, oh my God. And that's why I want people to be aware that laughing at somebody else's misery, that's why I make all these videos about warning people that these fake spiritual people, fake psychologists, fake immigrant lawyers, making money off of people's misery, people's bad situation, like the prison system, right? Making money off of people's desperation, people's immediate needs for money. I had literally last Saturday, someone, a psychopath, literally wanted to get $20, even $10, $20 out of me. She was brutally attacking me, like bullying me, like, oh my God, the psycho eyes, like, oh my God, like, this is real stuff. You're like, how can you be so desperate for $10, for $20, whatever the heck? It is true, it is real. And because of that, we need to understand that all of these negative things, that people's misery or people's bad life, we should never make fun of it, never, and live by the understanding it can come back to us too. That's how the universe works. It just can come back. But of course, try to celebrate that something happened good to people. That's why the way I do it, even if the most hated politician, most like the poisonous politician, if that person gets fired or gets to jail, whatever, I I'm not happy. I can't be happy. What I do instead is I just, in my brain, not only somewhere, but also in my brain, I don't comment. Like, I don't even in my brain comment on it. Like, whatever, and then move to the next whatever. Think about something else, because that's how I block this type of thinking, because I just don't want to see people in misery. I can't. I just don't feel it's hurting my soul. That's what I'm trying to say. And in the new channel, I will focus more on that. So that's NeuroHyperSensitivity, and the other one will be all about ethical AI, responsible AI, data safety, data privacy, security, etc., and how to actually use AI in a proper way. I will teach that. Will teach apps. I will teach strategies and technology, because I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty tech savvy since the 90s. I do a lot of tech stuff. I do our entire healthcare stuff since the last 12 years of our organization, and my entire 25 years doing a lot of patient data, security, whatever. And I do, since the 90s, a lot of like apps and development of websites, what have you, stuff like that. So that's why it blows my mind how people have lack of knowledge on how to use AI, especially in the day-to-day lives right now, when people who have no clue teach now on YouTube to the people how to use ChatGPT for every single crap, which is so dangerous, so dangerous. So that's what I said. So go to my website, draygenshahin.com/blog. That's where you get all the blogs. draygenshahin.com/courses. You can see my courses, Justice. I highly recommend that. And you can also, I have an Etsy store. You can see all my Justice, honesty, truth, honesty, integrity t-shirts. Here my merch. There's also about be you yourself, right? And my empowerment merch. And all the t-shirts are about justice and freedom. My advocacy and activism type t-shirts are also there. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. It was so much fun. I can't believe that, I'm happy that I connected with you guys and talked all about this. It was all in my chest for so long. I got it out. Yay. So happy that you're here joining me. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you. If you have any suggestions that you want me to cover, and also any comments of everything that I covered today, let me know. And I wish you such a great holiday weekend. Can't believe the summer's over, but yeah, it is what it is. So enjoy it, and I'll see you on Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye, guys.